to read, we have to compare the password with what here? C password. Then you have to read data. You have to read which data? Password and cleaned password, right? So where this data is available now, when this method is called, when you say is valid, when you say is valid, it will call which method? Clean methods. So that clean method returns which data? Cleaned data. That clean method returns which data? Clean data. And you read that data and compare password with what? Confirm password. Now to compare with password with the confirm password, first I should read the data. Input given by whom? End user. So whatever input is given by end user, what you are doing, you are sending to the view. And what view is doing, it is storing in what? Form. What view is doing, it is storing in what? Form. And calling which method? Is valid method. Is valid method and is valid method. Call which methods? Clean method. It calls which method? Clean method. And that clean method calls individual field methods. So if you want to get the data, which data? Cleaned data, you have to call here. What you have to call is super dot. What is the name of the method? Clean. Why you are calling this super dot clean is to get a reference of which one? Cleaned data. I need to get which data? Cleaned data. How can I get the clean data? By calling which method here? Clean method of which class? Super class. What is a super class is here? Form. What is a super class? Form. Then this returns which data here? Cleaned data. Getting on. So cleaned data is a dictionary or not? Yes, it is a dictionary. It is a dictionary. Now this is a dictionary, right? Okay, I'm saying dictionary. Okay, some D. I just given D. D is nothing but dictionary. And this dictionary contain what? Username, password, and what? Confirm password. So why we are calling this clean method? To get what? Data submitted by what? End user. See, when you submit the form, this form data is sent to what? View. And what view is doing? It is storing the data into what? Form. And after storing into the form, it is calling which method? Is valid method. Is valid method calls which method? Clean method. And that clean method returns which data? Cleaned data dictionary. Now before that, I am trying to call clean method. I try to call which method? Clean method of which class? Super class. So that it returns which data? Cleaned data. And here you will try to verify if dictionary is what here? What is dictionary? Cleaned data. Yesterday we have seen, right? Yesterday we have seen how to get the cleaned data. Okay. Form dot cleaned data. Form dot cleaned data. Form is having what? A dictionary. What is the name of the dictionary? Cleaned data. Then how can I get that dictionary? By calling which method? Clean method. Now this method is returning which dictionary? Cleaned data dictionary. And this dictionary contain how many values? Three values. Username, password, and what? Confirm password. Username, password, and what? Confirm password. Now you should verify what? Password. If password double equal to, if password double equal to dictionary of. So how can you get the value from dictionary? By using key. You can write dictionary dot which method? Get method. You can also use which method? Get method. Because how many ways can you read the data from dictionary? So many methods are there. In that you have a method called which one? Get. Or you can directly read it by using which one? Key. What is the key? Is password. You are reading the value of password and then you are comparing that password with which password? Confirm. Which password? Confirm password. You are comparing with which password? Confirm password. If it is equal, it should not raise any error. If it is equal, it should return which data? Cleaned data. It should return which data? Cleaned data. What is that cleaned data is? D. If it is equal, it should return which data? Cleaned data. And what is that cleaned data is here? D. That cleaned data is what here? D. Right? So I return the cleaned data. Right? Yes. Return D. Otherwise, else what do you have to do? You have to raise the error. So how you raise the error? By using which keyword? Raise forms dot. What is that error? Validation error. Validation error with appropriate message. Okay, validation errors here. These are the basic steps here. Validation error with an appropriate message. What is the message I'm saying? Okay, confirm password or password doesn't what match with which password? Confirm what password. Okay, now this error is raised. This error is what raised. But if the data is a valid, then it is returning which data? Cleaned data. Otherwise, it is rising what? Error. Otherwise, it is rising the error. You understood this logic? So why I called here clean method is why I call the clean method to return which data? Cleaned data. Means I required a dictionary or not? Yes. The dictionary contain what? Data. We are populating the form with the data or not? Yes. How can I get that data? By calling which method? Clean method of which class? Super class. And the clean method of super class returns what? Cleaned data, which consists of username, password, confirm, password. You are comparing the password with which password? Confirm password. If it is equal, you are returning which data? Cleaned data. If it is not equal, then you are raising what? Error. Yes, clean method automatically returns what? Dictionary. You don't, this method returns what? Dictionary. What dictionary contain? Data. Okay, what this dictionary contain? Cleaned data. So I'll just give the notes on this. What is a clean method is? Okay, right? So you can also override which method? Clean method to check the validations of form level valid. Form is all the fields you want to check. All the fields you want to check, not individual fields. You want to check what? Complete form. Okay, complete form or more than one field. Then you can check more than one field by writing individual methods, or you can write all the things in one method. And what is the name of that method? Clean method. Okay, right? So this is checking the password equal to what? Confirm password. If it is equal, okay, you are returning the cleaned data. If it is not equal, you are just raising one error. Understood up to this? What is say yes or no? Okay, so you are calling which method in this? Clean method. Why? Because to get the data. Which data? Cleaned data. The data given by whom? End user. Because that data should compare or not. Yes. But how can I get that data? By calling which method? Clean method. How can I get that data? By calling which method? Clean method of which class? Super class. Okay, right? So compulsory you have to call this method and then return what? Cleaned data dictionary. Otherwise, it should raise what? Error. Understood? Right. Then next is create a view. Now create a view. Now create a view. Now this is what here? A register view. And this will receive the request. And this takes the request. And this request handle two things. One is giving the form, and one more is receiving the data from the form. So it is trying to handle how many requests here? Two requests. When you send a request first time, it should give the registration form. When you send a request second time, you should receive the data given by what? Form. So generally you can handle this by using two request methods. One is get and one more is what? Post. But here I am handling it by using only one. Which method? Get method. Get method. What is the default request method is? Get. So you are sending a request using same method. Then how you know it? It is a first request or second request. For that, Yesterday we have seen, we have taken one variable called which one? Flag. So what is the value of flag is? True. If I'm saying if flag means if it is a true, means when you send a first request, then I should generate what? Form. Okay, you should generate a form by rendering into what? Template. Okay, then here I am saying response. Here I am saying response. Response equal to what is it? Render. Render request comma. Request comma. I try to create register dot HTML and here I should create one form. I should create one form and import the form here from application one dot application one dot forms import. What is the name of the form? Registration form. Create an object of a form. Form equal to form equal to what? Registration form. Now I created instance of what? Registration form. Then context equal to what is the name of this? Form and values also what here? Form. Now you send this form to what? Template. You render this form within the template and return what? Response. And before returning a response, I try to change a global response, global flag, and I change this flag value from true to what? False. It means this is first request. After this first request, when you send again request, this is for reading or writing? Reading. You are reading the data sent by whom? Client. Here, else you are reading the data sent by whom? Client. How you are reading it? You are reading the data and you are storing inside what? Form. So form equal to what I'm saying, form equal to what is this? A registration form. I just write here registration form by saying request dot. What is the data is get. So whatever data you send by using request method get, that data gets stored in which dictionary? Get dictionary of which object? Request object. And that data you are storing into what? Form. Why you are storing into the form? To validate. Is it this data is a correct or not? To validate this data is the correct or what? Not. So for that you store this data into what? Form. And after storing into the form, you are saying if form dot, what is the method is valid. Is valid. What is valid method is doing? Is calling which methods? Clean methods. That is field level as well as what? Form level. It calls the clean methods. It called which method? Clean. Who calls the clean method? Is valid method. Is valid method. If it is valid, what you have to do? You have to read the data. If it is a valid, what you have to do? You have to read the data. How you are reading the data? Suppose I want to read. What I want to read? User name. Form dot. Where is the data is? Where is the data is? Where is the data is? Yesterday we have seen one dictionary, right? What is the name of the dictionary? Cleaned data. So there is a dictionary, right? What is the name of the dictionary? Cleaned data of what is the name of this? Your name. Cleaned data of your name. Yesterday we did a array. So what is the name of the dictionary? See here. Is valid student form. What is the name of the dictionary? Cleaned data and then followed by key. So are you reading data or not? Yes. You are reading the data. You are reading the data. So here also you are reading the data. Form dot cleaned data what? Username. And then you read. Okay, I'll try to put, I'm not storing in any database. I'm just printing it which side? Server side. By just saying username, registration completed like that. Registration completed. Registration completed. Otherwise, is it rise an error or not? Yes. That error is displayed at which side? Server side. That error is displayed at which side? Server side. After displaying this message, I want to give again which form? Registration form. I want to create one empty registration form and I want to render as a part of which one? HTML. So again I'm creating a form. Again I'm creating a form. Which form are you creating? A registration form. And then you are saying response equal to what is this here? Render. Render request comma. You are trying to render in which template? Register dot HTML by giving context. What is the form you are embedding here? Form. What is the name of the context parameter? Form. And what is the name of the object is? Form. This is one empty form or not? Yes. Return response. This is when after reading the data, after reading the data, and after displaying the data, you're trying to send again which form? A registration form, so that you can register what? Another user. You can register another user. Now this you call it as which view? Register view. Now let me tell you again this. What is the value of flag is true. If it is a true, what you are doing? You are creating empty form. And this form you are trying to insert in what? Register.html. This is when you send a request first time. When you send a request first time, what is the value of flag will be true. Then it will create one empty form and send it to whom? Client. Then what client is doing is input the data, and after give the data, again he click on which button? Register button. When he click on register button, is it request come to the same view or different view? Same view. This view is doing how many operations? Two operations. One is displaying the form and reading the data from the form. Displaying the form and reading the data from form. When you send a first request, it will display the form. When you send a first request, it will display the form. In that case, I take one variable called what? Flag. What is the value of flag is? True. If it is a first request, then it will give one blank form. Okay, then the value of flag has become what? False. Okay, you fill the data. After fill the data, when you click on register, is it data comes to the same view or different view? Same view. Now tell me, what is the value of flag is? False. Then it will come to which block? Else block. It will read the data. It will read the data and store in which object? Form object. And after storing into the form object, it will try to verify is it input data is valid or not. By invoking which method? Is valid. Is valid method call which methods? Clean methods. If the data is valid, it returns which data? Cleaned data. You read the data and you just display the message saying that this registration is what? Completed. And again, generated which form? Blank form. Generated which form? Blank form, right? Yes. Then now you have to create one template here. You have to create a template. So create one folder called templates, and inside the templates folder, create a template. What is the name of the template? Register.html. Create a template, register.html. And here I'm creating a form. Sorry. Here I'm creating a form. Okay. Then you have to insert the form dot as what here? As a table. I'm inserting a form as what here? Table. Now just create one table. So create one table. Table. Define the width of the table. Define the width of the table, right? So this is your table, and then you can define the border as just given 1 pixel. And after that, within the table, so table row and table data. So input type is what now? Submit. Input type is a submit. And value equal to what here? Register. Okay. Now you try to insert the form as what here? Table. By using which tag? Insert data tag. Right. So this is done. Now, what is this here? Register dot HTML. Okay, right? And then next is uh, any error? Closing is not done. What happened here? You URL. What is that here? URLs you have to do a okay. So by default, if you don't give the action, see here, if you don't give the action by default, this request is sent to the same view or different view, same view. You don't require to give the action. Okay, you don't require to give the action because default it will send a request to the same view or different view, same view. It doesn't send a request to different view. It will send the request to what? Same view. It will send the request to what? Same view, not to the different view. Okay, right? Then you don't require to write. Okay. For this only we set the flag. Okay, na? Yes. Next is what here? URLs dot py. Now in URLs dot py, define the URL for this from application one dot views. Import this star, and then path is given. Now what is the name of this register? And what is the name of the view? Register view. Okay, register view is a name. And in settings.py, just install the application. What is the name of this? Application 1. Install the application 1, and define the template path by just giving a base directory slash. And in base directory, you have folder called templates. Okay, right? So define all these things. So templates configuration also done, right? Okay, just check here. So flag is global here. We have taken local, right? So this flag is what here? Global. And just write this as a global, right? So always global should be used before using a variable only. Okay. So after this, whenever you are using a flag, this flag is treated as which variable? Global, right? Yeah, you have to write like this. Okay, right? Because we declare as a local, but it should be declared as what? Global. Yeah, you do it. You do it here. You just try once without global. Okay? Yes. Okay, right? Now this is how it has been done. Next, what you have to do is you have to run the server. Everything is over, right? Yes, any settings are there? All are done? Yes. Python manage.py, run the server and send a request here. So now this is your first request, right? See here. This is a first request slash, what is the name of this here? Register. Now, is it this is a first request or not? Yes. Then what is the value of flag is? What is the name of flag is? What is the value of flag is? True. Okay, that is true. So when it is true, it is displayed one blank form. When it is a true, it is given one blank form where you input username, okay, password, okay, then confirm password, password and confirm password. So given password and confirm password. Okay. Then after that, you click on which one? Register. When you click on register, is it request is sent to the same view or different view? Same view. It is sent to the same view. Same view it is sent. Okay, I send NIT. So password and confirm password both are same. Okay, then is it data is submitted successfully or not? Yes. Now you can see at the back end, Naresh registration completed. Because is it raise any error or no error? No error. Because password and confirm password both are same. Password and confirm password both are same. Now suppose I'll try to give different. Okay. Now this is username, this is username, and this is password, and this is confirm password. If I click on register, if I click on register, so actually it is raised what error, but we have to render this error here. Okay, in register dot, we should display the error or not? Yes, it raised the error. See here in forms.py, forms.validation error, it is raised the error. What is that error is raised? Password does not match with the confirmation password. Okay. And this password should be displayed or not? Yes. But are you displayed this password anywhere? Are you displayed this password anywhere? See, if I'm writing here print, okay, I say print password does not match. Now this error is displayed at which side? Tell me, this error is displayed at which side? Server side. Just a see here. Just a see here. But are we displayed any password or not displayed? Not displayed. We have not shown any error. We raise the error. We raise the error. We should handle and we should display the error or not? Yes. We only raise the error. Which error is raised? Which error is raised? Validation error is raised. But after raising the error, that error message has to be displayed or not? Yes. Where all these error messages will be there in the form. In the form, you have an error field. By using that error field, you can render these errors within what? Template. You can render these errors within the template. So let me tell you how to render these errors within the template. See here, I enter the password and I enter even confirm password. I click on register. Once I click on register, see here, password and confirm password. Is it both are match or doesn't match? Doesn't match. When it is not matched, what happened here? So super dot clean C password, just check C password and dictionary of password, confirm password, then return dictionary. One minute. So there is a mistake is dictionary of password, just check the field names, password and dictionary of C password. So return the dictionary, else password doesn't match and raise the form dot validation error. So first we'll see, is it this method is executing or not? Okay, na? This method is, first we'll check, is it this method is executing or not? Because I just given one message called hello. So why I've given? Because I want to know whether this method is executing or not, right? So register. So yes. अरे why now it is given right? इससे पहले क्या हुआ यार? Server should be restored. Okay. But actually you don't require hello password does not match. Password does not match. Okay. Now this method is called or not? Yes. This method is called and it is displayed password does not match. But this password does not match. This error is given at which side? Server side. This message is given at which side? Server side. But I want this message to be displayed within the form. I want this message to be displayed within the form. Okay, na? Yes. Just to see here. Manage.py run the server. Just to see here. Okay. Refresh the things. Go back. So refresh the things. Okay. Register. Code is correct only. No changes I've done. Username, NIT, and NIT. So password and confirm password match or not match? Match. So NIT registration is completed. Okay, then if I say nourish and password is some password and confirm password is something else. This both are not matched. If I click on register, okay, what is the message? Password doesn't match. Or save, we have not saved. So enter username and password and this password, click on register. Okay, then you can see at the back end by saying this password doesn't match. It's not applying changes, or we should refresh this. We should start from the, yes. Now register. So actually the deployment will be done automatically. You don't require to do every time, what is that, refresh. Okay, every time refresh is not required. Now you can see password does not match. Password does not match. Okay, yes. Yes. Okay, right? Yes. But I want this message to be displayed not at the server side. I want this message to be displayed at what? Client side. Then I have to install this. I have to insert this. I have to insert this error within what? Form. I have to insert this error within the form. And where you want to insert this error, you just define that. See, for every field you write, for every field there is one error. Okay, all the fields you can handle it. For every field there is one error. It means form maintain errors for all fields. Okay, now this error is raised by, see here, this error is raised by which field? This error is raised by which field? Confirm password field. Okay, what is the error message is given by this confirm password field? Password does not match with the confirm password. Okay, then I want to get the error belongs to which field? Confirm password field. Getting on it. So forms is there. No, forms module is maintain all error messages into one list. It will try to maintain all the error messages into one list. And what is the name of that is forms dot errors. Form dot errors. You need to iterate all the errors and you should display it. You need to iterate all the errors and you should display it. Whatever errors are there within the form, you should iterate all the errors and you should display it. Where you should display it? Within the form. You have to display all these errors within the form. See here. Errors dot DJANGO. See here. DJANGO forms dot. What is the name of this? Errors. Forms dot errors. What forms dot errors are there? See here. In DJANGO form dot errors is an attribute of form instance that holds validation errors that occurs when form is submitted and validated. It is an instance of which object? Error dictionary object, which is specialized dictionary like object. So form dot error You can see, you can access form dot errors and followed by which name? Field name. I mean, this is an error belongs to which field? Specific field. Because it is like dictionary or not? Yes. You can iterate it. You can iterate it one by one by using which loop? For loop. Or you can directly read it by using forms dot. What is the name of this? Errors, and it followed by which name? Field name. Now you want to display the error within the template. What do you do it now? You just go to the template, and inside the template, where you want to display the error, after this form or below the form or after this table, what will I do is, below this table, what I'm doing it, insert. What you are inserting it? What is your form object? Or what is your form object name is? Form dot which one? Errors. Form dot errors dot. You should not give field name, because is it allowed to access directly? No. So you just give the key. What is the keys? What is the key is field name. What is the field name? C password. You are reading the value of which error? C password error. You are reading the value of which error? C password error. Form dot errors dot. What is the key is C password. You are displaying which error? Confirm password error, because you are validating which error? Confirm password, and this is raising an error. What is that error is? Password does not match with the confirm password, and we display that error. We displayed that error within the form by saying form dot errors dot. What is the name of this? C password, because it is a dictionary like. It is a dictionary like. It is a dictionary like here. And if you want to display this somewhere, it is no problem. Okay, you are trying to display it by using which one? This attribute form dot non-field errors. And if you want to iterate all the errors, you can also iterate all the errors by using which loop? For loop. But if you want a specific error, then forms dot errors dot. What is the name? Field name. Okay, right? So forms dot errors dot C password. Let me run this again. So developing means you have to do a lot of things, because we are just checking only which validations. Field level validation. You can also do which validation? Form level validation. Now here, password and confirm password both are same. Then is it raised error? Is it any error is raised or no error is raised? No error is raised. You can see NIT registration is completed. You can see NIT registration is completed. When you call is valid method. When you call is valid method, see when clean methods are called, I already said when clean methods are called. Clean methods are called when you call which method? Is valid method. Until unless you don't call is valid method, is it this clean methods are called? No. I click on register. Okay, I said not now. Again, refresh has to be done. So password does not match. What happened here? Why it is asking to refresh every time? So what is the name of the field? Form dot errors dot C password. It's not changing automatically here. Okay, right? See, this is how you can read it. Forms dot errors dot field names. will give the list of errors for that specific field, and non-field errors that will return all the errors, right? But here what you are trying to do is, now this is a form. So I just show you. This is a template. So here you are trying to display the label, and you can see here for in forms.errors, and you are trying to display what here? One error or all the errors? All the errors. You are trying to display what? All the errors given within the form. All the errors. Okay, all the errors which are there in the form. You are trying to display all the errors which are there within the form, right? You are trying to display all the errors in this case by iterating all. For in forms.errors, and you are inserting error. Okay, we'll just, you can also display one error. Say it is not refreshing it. We'll just execute again. So what is the name of this form is register, enter username and password, confirm password, and then click on what? Register. Not now. But why it is not displayed in the template? We use for loop. We'll just check with this. But actually you can read it by using what? Form name, and this is for, and followed by which one? And for. So that should also work. We'll see it. It is not refreshing it actually. Okay, we'll start the server again. Okay, what is this form is? Register. So enter the name. Yes, like this, and click on register. I said no. Then predefined errors. Now password does not match. So here I'm saying form dot is valid. Just see here. What we'll do is, okay, form dot is valid. Actually, you don't require to send it. Okay, because where this all errors get stored in, all these errors get stored in, see here, all these errors get stored in, where it will store in one predefined field. And what is the name of that predefined field? Okay, that predefined field is nothing but what? Errors. You don't require to do that. See, print form dot is valid. Print form dot which one? Errors. But what this error object will have? All the errors. You don't require to send it. You don't require to what? Send it, right? So if it is valid, you are saying form dot errors. See here, if it is valid, form dot is valid. See, form dot is valid. Form is data valid, and you are saying action is successful. Otherwise, form dot is valid, and you are saying form dot what? Errors. Form dot errors. Then what will happen? What will happen? It will try to display which form? Oh, now your form has become empty, right? That is a problem here. This form has become what? Empty. Empty form it has become. So that is a problem here. So what we have to do is else. Else is there here. Otherwise, because we created empty form, right? This form has become what now? Empty. Empty means there is no data, right? It just insert which form? empty form. Empty form doesn't have any errors. Empty form doesn't have what? Any errors. This is not having any errors. Then what I have to do? So else is there. I have to say else. Else is valid. You are doing this. Okay, else this is what we'll do is we have to render not empty form, not empty form. This form is already there, right? Then we have to say render else render. Okay, this is a form, and then return what here? A response. Now this form is having which one? Errors. This form is having what now? Errors. Okay, this form is having errors. Which form is having errors? Which form is having errors? Registration form. Which form is having errors? Registration form is having errors. Okay. So that errors are displayed. That is a problem. You understood why I have written else block here? If I don't write an else block, what it is doing always? If it is valid, okay, if it is valid, okay, fine. Registration is completed. If it is invalid, what it is doing? Which form it is creating? Empty form. But you want empty form or error form? Error form. Error form with that data, right? Error form with that data. Then you have to come to which block now? Else block. Here you have to write a else block. Now this else block, you are trying to render which form? Error form. It means this is a form which contains the data along with what? Errors. It contains the data along with what? Errors, and generating which one? Response. If it is a valid, then it execute this block. If it is a valid, then it execute this block and create which form? Empty form. If it is invalid, then it will render which form? Error form, and send that error form to what? Client. So that is a mistake what we did here. You understood what is the mistake we did? Understood or not? Yes, because we are sending empty form, but we should not send empty form, right? You are creating again new form, but we need to use which form? A registration form with the data along with what? Errors. Because of that, you are not getting which one? Errors. Understood? Right. Now you run this code. Run the code. Simple, but lot of. So this is what will happen in development also. Simple, but it will become sometimes what? Yes or no? So simple mistake, but you'll spend a lot of time. Okay. So first you should understand that mistake. So username, this password and click on register. See here. Password does not match the with which password? Confirm password. Is it displayed? Displayed or not displayed? Displayed. Why? The mistake what we did is, what is the mistake we did? We are always sending which form? If the condition is true, registration and then empty form. If it is not valid also, you are sending which form? Empty form. But you should not send which form? Empty form. We should send a form with the data with the errors. Okay, na? So same form with the errors, we render in what? Register.html. So that is a mistake what you have done. Understood? What is a yes or no? So you can display all the errors. But wherever you want, you can display the error. See here. Actually, we display errors at the end, right? We display all the errors at the end within the form. But actually, the errors you'll get above the field. If the confirm password and password doesn't match, now you can see the error or not. Yes. What is that error is? Password does not match with the confirm password, because this is an error belongs to which field? Confirm password field. Understood? Right? So this is which validation here? Field level validation. You just try to understand the steps here. Okay. So what you are trying to do in the forms, you are writing a field which you want to validate. You are trying to get which data? Cleaned data. And then you are comparing the password with what? confirm password. If the password equal to confirm password, you are returning which data? Cleaned data. If the password is not equal to confirm password, it will come to what? Else and generate what? Error. So where this errors get stored in? Form. Okay, where this error get is stored in? Form. Now come to the view. Now when you send a request the first time, the value of flag is what? True. Then it will create one empty form and this form is rendered in what? HTML and sender. Now when you submit the data, it will come to which block? Else block and create a register form by storing which data? Get data. Okay, then if the form is valid, if the form is what? Valid, if the form is valid, what you are doing it, you are trying to get the username and displaying one message saying that registration is completed. If the is valid return false, it will come to which block? Else block and render which form? Error form into what? Register.html and generate the response. Generate the response. If it is valid, then it is again returning which form? Empty form. If it is invalid, it is rendering which form? Error form. So the mistake in the previous case, what we did? Else. Here we have not written the else. Because of that, every time it is creating which form? Empty form. Okay, na? Right. So this is how you write an error at which level? Field level. But you can also write an error at which level? Form level. Yeah, we'll see how to display properly. How to display properly, because here controlling is there or controlling is not there. Here are you controlling or not controlling? Not controlling, because I said here for I in end for like this I've given, but I want below password, below text field, below username. Then what do you have to do? What do you have to do? You have to control it. Means you have to display, you have to create a table, you have to display all the fields, and below the fields you have to display what? Errors. So how can you insert the fields? Which fields? Form fields manually within the template. How to display these fields manually within the template also we'll see it. Okay. But just to try to do this, in the next class I'll tell you how to display the errors manually. Manually means, now here we just create a form as what? Table. Here we display the form as what? Table. Means when I say form as a table, so what Django is doing, it is creating one table and inserting all the fields. But I want to insert the fields. I want to insert the fields. I want to insert the fields, but I don't want Django should generate the fields. Getting on or not? So that we'll see not today, but we'll see that tomorrow. Tomorrow means Monday, right? Today we'll stop it here and Monday we'll continue, right? What I said here is valid method. Is valid method. Here you are using which method? Is valid method. Is valid method calls which methods? Clean methods. Is valid method calls which method? Clean methods. It calls a clean method of superclass and that calls all the clean methods. You are not calling this. These methods are called by which one? Is valid method. Okay, right? Abhishek. We are not calling that. These methods are called by clean methods. So this method is automatically called by DJANGO during the forms is valid process. You don't require to call these methods. These methods will be called automatically when you call is valid method. Okay, na? Right.